Welcome to day 4 of how to make money with your Scentsy business. I want to welcome you to part 2 of social media. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about your social media strategy. So I know that people sometimes get overwhelmed by the concept of creator content, or you just don't even know what to post, and that's okay. That's why on day 2, I had you come up with 3 things that really identify you. Okay, because Scentsy itself is not your brand. One thing I do want to mention about the Scentsy brand is that you want to always make sure you're using the most up-to-date Scentsy logo. So it's actually now out of compliance to use the old logo. I wish I even had it here. Well, there's one version of it, but it's also the Scentsy logo that is like kind of soft curves instead of those jagged curves. That is a side note. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about today is your social media, because your social media is really where we do a lot of our selling. We are social sellers. So you have to be meeting other people, networking with them. You need to be on social media. And the whole game, the way to win at social media is actually by engaging. Engage, engage, engage. I cannot stress that enough. The more you engage with people, the more they're going to know, like, and trust you. And the more that these platforms are going to increase your views because you are engaging, okay? So I wanted to show you, obviously this is very rudimentary, but I wanted to show you on here an example of your Instagram grid, okay? If you are brand new to Instagram, if you have no idea how to use Instagram, I will link in the details below a little workbook that is free that I designed that you can download so that you can actually learn all about Instagram. Because I'm not teaching you today how to use Instagram or how to set it up. What I'm teaching you today is how to use it to the best advantage possible. So the first thing to know is that you need to choose a username. My username is The Scented Life, all one word. But my profile name, of course, is Jennifer Martins. Okay, because if people are looking for me, they need to be able to find me. And The Scented Life actually makes sense to people who know me and are looking for me as being their Scentsy lady, right? So the other thing really, really, really important is that you need to have a picture of yourself. We already talked about this in another video, but the Scentsy logo, a Scentsy warmer, that is not your brand. You are your brand. So you need to make sure that you have an up-to-date photo that is appropriate. Okay. When I say appropriate, I mean, don't be using like those bunny filters or whatever. Like, that just doesn't even make sense. You have to be presenting yourself as a business professional. That is what this course is all about. If you do not want to learn how to make money with your Scentsy business and you just want to keep on doing what you're doing and keep getting paid like it's a hobby, which means no paycheck at all because you pay for hobbies, then you can continue doing what you're doing, okay? But I'm assuming that you're a part of this because you're wanting to learn best business practices. So you want to have a picture that is up to date, that is representative, that people will identify as being your brand. If you open your Instagram right now and you search me, you will see that the same photo that is on my Instagram is on my YouTube channel. It's on my Facebook. It's on my Google account. Like, it's everywhere because I want people to identify that when they're looking for Jen Martins, the Scentsy girl, they are seeing consistent branding and they're like, oh yeah, that's her right there, right? So you don't want to have some kind of obtuse name on Instagram that doesn't make sense. And that's why I talked yesterday about you want to make sure that if you, some of you will have decided that you're going to set up a new Scentsy business account, and that's great. And some of you are comfortable using your same one, and that's fine too. So there's no right or wrong. You are your own business owner, right? So you can decide what you want to do. I am just teaching you best business practices. So first and foremost, you're going to look into your bio on there. Okay, so we talked about your handle, and then we're going to talk about your bio. So my bio, if you look on mine, it says Jennifer Martins, entrepreneur. Okay, I don't say Scentsy Independent Superstar Director. It's a little bit long. And people who are not familiar with Scentsy, that means absolutely nothing to them. Okay, so I am trying to search out other people who want to be entrepreneurs, and Scentsy is the way in which I do that. Okay, so my title is I put as I'm an entrepreneur. My 3 tagline branding words are next: faith, family, fragrance. That is what I represent. I already talked to you about that in video 2. You can go back and watch that again if you've forgotten, but you should have your 3 identifying words before you continue on with this, okay? So those 3 identifiers are actually going to help build your business model so that it's very strategic, it's already laid out. People are not going to even realize that they're looking at a strategy, but I am teaching you a strategy, okay? So mine says, because you can have 3 lines, it says faith, family, fragrance, celebrating my Scentsy team, because that is a huge part of my Instagram. A huge part of why people decide to join my team is because I have a culture of celebration. And then it says work with me, and it has an arrow down, and it has my link tree. Linktree is a free service. You just go to linktree.com. You can find it on my, if you go to mine, you'll see it. It's linktr.ee, okay? And then you, on mine, it says Jen Martins. And then when people click on my link tree, they are going to see actual links. So they can join Scentsy Club, they can sign up to do Scentsy with me, they can shop with me. There's all kinds of options that I have there in the link. Okay, so I don't automatically link to my website, because a lot of people will just go, oh, it's her web, like it's a website, I'm not interested. I want them to click on what they're looking for. If they click on join my team, I want to know that information. Okay. Yeah, so then you can have highlights. If you go to mine, you'll see I have different highlights there. And of course, you want to have a highlight for each of your 3 branding topics. So mine, of course, I'm going to have faith, family, fragrance. If I take a picture and I'm doing something with my small group, or Jacqueline is doing something with her youth group, or we're at church, not that I really take pictures at church, or if I post a verse that I'm working on memorizing or something like that, I will save that story into my highlights under faith. Okay. Family, anything to do with the family. So something with Troy, something with Jacqueline, myself, the dog, those all go into family. And then fragrance, of course, anything that I post that is Scentsy related, I'm going to drop into my highlights. So it's really important that you get into the habit of creating stories. Okay. And you can Google how to do that. There's lots and lots of places that you can find how to do stories. I am not particularly fond of being in front of the camera, but I also know that that's how people are going to know, like, and trust me. So it's something that I have to do because this is my job, right? I need to be treating my business like a business, and that is part of it. Now, so in here, you're going to have those, your name, your title, your 3 branding things, because that's what people are going to look at, and then more details. Okay. Now on Instagram, you're going to have 3 highlighted options. Okay. So these are like basically like pinned posts. You can opt to do these, or you can opt not to. It does not matter. Okay. So that's the first thing I want to say. If you do decide to, my recommendation to you is that you choose your 3 branding topics. So mine would be faith, family, fragrance. Okay, that makes the most sense for what I am trying to portray and where I'm trying to find my target audience. Okay. So if you have questions, please comment below. I will always be checking for comments. But I'm trying to give you a kind of a broad overview of how Instagram is going to work. Okay, so you have the option to pin these. So it makes sense for you to have them as your branded content. And then you can see that there is a 9 grid. Okay, so this is what is usually visible, when people look on their phone at your Instagram. This is what's going to make people decide, are they going to follow you? In order for you to get new customers, new team members, and new hosts, you need people to follow you, not just look at you as a one and done. You want to clinch them and get them to follow you. Okay, so very, very important. So what you can do is you can do a few things. You can go faith, family, fragrance, your 3 things, okay? So fill in your own. And then you can put in each column, I could do, every third one, I could do faith. And this one I can always do family. And this one I can always do fragrance. So there you have it. There's your 3 branding topics can literally be in rows like that. And that's very aesthetically pleasing. Another thing that you can do is you can just make sure that you have within your 9 grid those 3 things repeated. So it doesn't matter. It could go across this way, or it could go across that way, or it could go like this and that. It does not matter. Okay. The key is that you want to have your information, that's your little bio, that's a literal bio. People are going to read that and decide if they're going to follow you. Then you're going to have your highlights, and then you're going to have your 9 grid. Okay. Is that making sense? Please drop a comment grid if this is making sense to you. So for me, it would be faith. Let me turn it the other way. Faith, family, fragrance. Because you have to remember that people are not following you to look at a digital version of our catalog. Okay, so it's really important. I talked to you about this yesterday, that you always want to have your picture, your face in a picture. Okay, so if you go to my Instagram, I'll put it here. Okay, now obviously what I have today is going to change tomorrow, but you will see that I will have pictures of myself and Happy Mail. Happy Mail is a big part of my team and why I love Scentsy, and why people who join my team stay for years. Okay. So I will have a picture of Happy Mail. I will have a picture of Troy. Okay. And then I might have a picture of let's say the dog. I mean, I could just look at my grid here. I do a lot of Happy Mail, and I do a lot of products. So I'll have one product post. Usually I'm holding that product, like I talked about yesterday, holding the product. I'm not taking a picture that is already circling all over the internet, because people are not drawn to that. You want them to be drawn to you. Okay. So I may have a product. Let me see here. I have one of Jacqueline. Okay. And then I'll have another Happy Mail. I send a lot of it. Okay. And then here, let me see. I will have a lifestyle. Okay. So this would be something like, what do I use my Scentsy money to pay for? So is this a trip? Is this Starbucks? Is this whatever you're using it for? It really doesn't matter. But you're going to show something. Okay. So what you're not seeing here is catalog, 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 catalog. Okay, is that making sense to you? You're understanding the whole idea behind the grid, right? Comment grid if you're following me. And then here I just might have a picture of me smiling. And that strategically is, I want people to feel like they're getting to know me, like me, trust me, and want to do Scentsy with me. Okay. And then I might have, let me see. Usually I do have a lot of Happy Mail. Because if you look in my profile, okay, you are going to see that one of the things I do is celebrate my team. Or you know what, this could be a team coffee. It could be going out for breakfast with somebody on my team. It could be pictures from our most recent team night or team training day. It could be from World Tour or SFR. So it's giving people a broad range. So it's not catalog, catalog, catalog. If you are looking at your Instagram right now and all you see is catalog, 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 it's okay. You knew what you knew then, but today you know better. So today you're going to update it. You're going to give more personalized information so that people can get to know, like, and trust you, not Scentsy. Okay. Scentsy product is not you. Okay. I hope that this is making sense. Again, If you are following, if you're tracking with me, please comment grid below so that I know. But I'm hoping you can see here how easy it is to actually start to come up with content, because what you're doing is you're just going, like I just came up with 9 things with you live, okay, or recorded, so to speak. But all of them relate to faith, family, or fragrance. Okay, so when you see a picture of me, sometimes I will have in the comments my favorite verse, or had a great day at church today, or love my small group, or something like that. Now, it's not a ton of pictures and posts because I don't want to take up a lot of my grid on that. However, you will see if you go to my highlights that I have a lot of faith in my highlights, okay? Because this is what I want people to follow me by. And then when they start following me and they watch my stories, they will get to know a little bit more about me and how important my faith is to me, okay? So a couple things I wanted to mention is that one of the things you never, ever, ever, ever want to do, sorry, let me move this. One of the things you never, ever want to do on social media or in person or at a party or anything like that, you never want to bash other warmers and wax companies. You never bash candles. You never bash jar candles, anything like that. Okay, you never bash another company thinking that that is going to make people want to buy Scentsy. It will not. Okay, we don't do that. We don't do that. Please do not ever do that. Now, one thing I want you to know is that here in Canada, if people are saying that, well, I can get wax cheaper at Walmart, okay, instead of saying, yeah, but their stuff is garbage or like whatever, instead of saying that, you want to stop yourself and you're going to say, actually, did you know that when you buy a 6-pack, it's the same price as at Walmart? Okay, now you can do the math. I've put this on my group page. If you're not already in there, I'm assuming a lot of people who are watching this are going to be part of my group, but it's the Facebook group is called My Superstar Director, or My SSD is Jen Martins. Okay, and I do actually have the Walmart breakdown on there so people can see people being you, not your customers. Okay, this is knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you're going to grow. Okay, so really, really important. One thing about social media is you do need to be present every single day. Consistency is much more effective than perfectionism. I learned this the hard way. I kept recording and deleting and recording and deleting and recording and deleting. And then I would get frustrated. And then I'd be on the verge of tears and I would never post because I thought, I don't really have anything to post. I don't have, it's not good enough. It's not polished enough. Well, guess what? The truth is that I'm trying to sponsor people to join my team who are exactly like me. I need people who are hot messes, who are willing to be brave and do it anyways, okay? Now, one thing, I got this at the local Dollarama, $2. It is a calendar, okay? Now, this, oh, that's terrible. This one in particular, I have left the plastic on. And here's a little tip. If you leave the plastic on, you can go, let me use the other side of this. You can go and you can actually fill in like a whiteboard, okay? So I'm just filling in a few things. Product, happy mail. Now I will let you know I don't work on weekends. I don't expect anyone on my team to ever work weekends. Now you can, if you want to, you can continue to schedule posts. You can use, there's 2 programs that I am aware of. There is Planoly, Planoly. I believe that there's a fee associated with that. And there's Later, L8, I think, TR or something like this. They're both paid subscriptions, but they can be, you can schedule your posts into your feed. The reason I don't like to schedule posts is because these social medias, they are very big on engagement. Remember, I talked about this at the beginning. Engagement is king. So if you post and you're not actually there to engage with people when you post it, you're not really gaining anything. Okay. So, let me see here. Okay, so again, I left the paper on here, or sorry, the plastic on here, and now you can use it as a whiteboard. Okay, so if I wanted to, I don't do it this way, but if you wanted to, you can sort out how you want to post in accordance this way. I personally like to look at the 9 grid. Just my visual like learning is better looking at it in this format because I know that that's how people are going to actually be looking at it. But just whatever you do what you, oh, sorry, do what works for you. If there's one thing I know by having almost 3,000 people in my downline, it's that really there are no two people who run their business exactly the same way. So what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you will not necessarily work for your team members, and that's okay. That is the beauty of doing Scentsy, is that it's good for everyone, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. As long as you're actually putting in the work and doing the work and engaging, that's really all that you need to be aware of and know. Okay, so let me just check that I've looked this all over. Okay, one last thing about social media, and I did do a video on this, which I will link below, so I'm not going to talk about it right now. But if you can link your business page on Facebook with your business page on Instagram, you can post once and it will post in 2 places. Okay, so you're getting more eyes on your content, and you can also update and have shopping options, which is what I will link in the description below. So make sure you open the description. I will put in there the link to watch that video so that you can see exactly how to post an image and have people be able to shop from it. So if I post a picture, say I'm holding the catalog open and I'm like, right? People, if they click on Mickey, if they click on Minnie, they can shop right away from my picture. So that's what I'm teaching in that other video, which I will link below. The other thing I wanted to just quickly mention is that you want to make sure that your caption makes sense. I have had people copy and paste my caption before from other direct sales companies that leads them to my website. So make sure that your copy, what you write, makes sense. It does not have to be long. It does not have to be elaborate. It can be one line. It doesn't matter. If I was posting a picture of Mickey and Minnie, this one, right off the top of my head, I can just think, I could say, anyone automatically sing that song, MICKEYMOUSE, and that could be it. And then I personally, I don't know, I have been doing this for a long time. So I don't know if things have changed, so bear with me because Instagram changes like every minute. But I always drop down, so I will post my line, drop it down, put 5 dots, 5 periods down, and then I will put in my hashtags. Now, hashtags have to be appropriate to your picture or you can get reported. So if you post a picture of, the flamingo warmer, you want to say things like hashtag flamingo, hashtag flock, hashtag flamingo, hashtag pink, hashtag stand on one leg. I don't know. I'm just coming up with this right off the top. But if you put in hashtag coffee and it made no sense to your picture, someone could report you for being spam because that's spammy. Like you're not actually correlating your picture with your hashtags. So be mindful of that as well. Again, if you have questions, comments, if you just had a huge aha moment, please drop them below. Also, I would love for you to drop your Instagram handle so that we can follow each other. So that everyone watching this, we can all follow each other. I do understand that we are not each other's target audience. Your target audience is not a Scentsy consultant, right? Your target audience is a future Scentsy consultant or someone who's going to host with you or someone who's going to buy with you. But it's a great idea to get some people following you right off the bat. So that way you can get some feedback and you can see how things are going. And I find that Scentsy people, I'll post on their on their Instagram, I'll be like, I love that. Or like, hey, can I share your picture? Or like whatever. So it's a really great community. But yeah, we will see you tomorrow where we are going to be talking about business hours because we are treating our business like a business, right? Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.